And welcome back inside the Let's Not Do This podcast for Thursday, March 19th, year of our Lord, 2024. Back from the dead. Oh, fuck, it is Wednesday. Wednesday, March 19th, year of our Lord, 2025. As I said, 24 earlier. You got the big O, Leon Oliver, back from the dead. I don't know what I have. My voice sounds like shit. Sounds like,
unfortunately.
Sounds like I swallowed a cheese grater, but we're going to make it through. We're going to be okay.
Unfortunately, that what his name was?
Nah, fuck you. Unfortunately, I see Chris's face, so that's a bad day. And then we have Sky Too Hottie. How are you, gentlemen?
Good. Bet the over on this first game here, American Mount St. Mary's. They are just like last night's game. No, they're 44 points after 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Over 127.5. So
Sky and I were talking before the show started. I believe it. What did it open like 133 and then went down to 127, I want to say?
Yeah, because first I was looking at American and I'm just like, why am I laying points with American again? Then I was like, two bad teams. Let me bet the under. Then I saw it open at 133.5 down to 127. Oh, gotta take that over on that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It was a rough one. So we're streaming live right now on YouTube and Facebook Live. Rumble viewers having a little bit of a technical difficulty with Rumble. We'll get the show uploaded on Rumble afterwards. You were saying, Scotty?
So speaking of which, your wife had a little sound bite before we went live. We should have clipped that.
No,
we should use that.
Promptly asked her to leave the room and the state. And she's done both. So there we go. All right. Well, yeah, let's get into it. So this is the second day of the first four. Right now, American and Mount St. Mary's, the battle of safety schools in the greater DC area. I know someone's going to be really pissed that I just called American a safety school, but what are you going to do? They were facing off. Nothing like two schools that are an hour apart having to go to another shitty town called Dayton, Ohio to play a basketball game. But what are you going to do? And then what's the nightcap? We got Xavier in Texas.
Yep, Texas money line. Let's go.
Boom. All right. So obviously we had two of the first four games yesterday. We had the miraculous Hail Mary touchception, whatever you want to call it, with Alabama State and what was it? Alabama. Who was that?
St. Francis. The
hospital. Yeah, St. Francis. Yes.
Yeah.
St. Francis, PA, and then of course North Carolina.
Me a push.
North Carolina still may be scoring on San Diego State. Two things can be true, America. Carolina cannot deserve to be in the tournament, and they can also dog walk a San Diego State team because they're very talented. These things can both be true. Not everything has to be one or the other. Just want to put that out there.
UNC deserves to get in. They got in. So, real quick. So the reason why UNC, everybody says they shouldn't have got in is because they were like, 1-12 against quad one teams?
Yeah.
So quad one teams are really good, right? So they want to see that you could beat the good teams, right?
Yeah.
Yep. What quad is UNC in? They're a quad one team.
Yeah.
Okay. So if quad one teams are really good and UNC is a quad one team, then UNC deserves to get in. Boo-hoo, West Virginia, you were the 69th team. If you'd have won one more game, you'd have been in.
If you won one more game,
and you lost your coach.
I was going to say, you won one more game, you still have a head coach. Darian DeVries going off to Indiana. And apparently in his press conference today, kind of alluded to, I guess they've been talking a little while. I know NC State hiring Will Wade. He's going to bring back the pack. He's getting some flack because of the news coming out. It's not an official deal. They've agreed in principle. It's not his fault that the news leaked. I mean, the transfer portal opens, I think, 8 a.m. on Monday. So if you don't have a coach or don't have a coach that's about to be your coach, you're kind of screwed. So you had to make a move. Like, if you're going to make a move, you got to do it. You can't afford to sit back and wait. It's not 1985 anymore, but people are eviscerating coaches for making a move right now.
Is Will Wade going to leave at halftime of the game?
Oh, yeah. They're going to get down.
Left.
They're going to get down 15 to Clemson, and he's going to, Go shake hands with one of those Clemson fans. Get one of those dumbass $2 bills that they carry around, and all right,
I'm sure
y'all.
he's talked to a couple guys already about coming to NC State. They're checked out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are.
They're gonna get rolled.
I'm
And Will
all
Wade
in.
probably leaked it because he doesn't give a shit about etiquette. So he's probably the one that released it.
Hey, everything he's good at, it's legal now, baby. I'm all aboard the Wade wagon. Wade the state. Let's.
I'm sure
I'm
you
on
are.
the wagon. Let's go.
I
All right.
wanted a team that I could root with you on, and now that's not going to happen.
Well, Scotty, I'll introduce
You
you
got the
to.
Cats?
Yeah, you got that. I'll also introduce you to Italian soccer. There's a lovely squad called Lazio. Just don't look back at their history, but that's okay.
I'm not because the last time you told me to root for a soccer team, I forget who it was, but they were like last in their league.
Builds character. Builds character. Not everyone can be a front runner. You don't want to be a Chiefs fan. If you can bring somebody over to America, and they could be a Chiefs fan or they could be a Raider fan, you make them a Raider fan. Let them build character. Enjoy the ride.
My mom
we
chiming
missed you
in. She
too.
misses us. Daryl's watching to see what we're going to say about our brackets.
There
Just
we
do the
go.
opposite of what we say. It'll be good.
You'll probably be okay. All right. So speaking of which, let's go ahead and dive and get into it. Who wants to pull up the bracket here as we go through the field of 68, or I guess it's what 64 left?
66. It won't be 64
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah. There we go.
Let's see here. Share screen.
Also, while you're doing this, make sure to like and subscribe and follow, all that good stuff. See some good numbers on Rumble. Like I said, we're having some technical issues with Rumble right now. That's okay. We'll upload it afterwards and get that done. But yeah, so make sure to do that. We are definitely growing, and we want to grow with you guys. So let's dive into it. And for that, Scotty's got the bracket pulled up here. You want to start in the South there?
Sure. As you can see, all my picks here. I'm trying to get. I don't think it's going to work out for us. Let's see. I'm trying to get the whole region in there.
It's okay.
It's not going to work.
It'll be yeah. You can zoom in and follow.
Can you see? Can you see this good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
All right. So starting off in the South here, Auburn taking on Alabama State. Cool scene today with Alabama State. They were in Lexington in this game. It's Lexington, Kentucky. Team did their little walk through, did a little practice. They got together, I guess, had like a team prayer right before they left the floor. And the fans that were in attendance there kind of gave them a stand to know as they left the floor. Alabama State getting their first ever NCAA tournament win, which I don't technically like that because it's a first four game, but they're a small HBCU. What are you going to do? Let them enjoy it, have their moment in the sun there. So, but cool moment there. So Auburn taking on Alabama State. I guess we can all say Auburn rolls here.
Yeah, I think so.
Actually, yeah, I'm picking Auburn. I got Auburn going pretty far, as you'll see. I really like Auburn. I think they were the best team pretty much all year, and then they stumbled a little bit at the end. I think that might end up being good for them. They got a chance to reset, not feel too good about themselves coming into the tournament, and I think they're going to show up ready to play.
Next down from that, you got the 8-9 game, which is really interesting. I feel like these two teams are very close to each other, Louisville and Creighton. I'm going with the Cards here on this one. Albeit I haven't seen the Blue Jays a ton this year, but what Pat Kelsey's done in 1 year to turn that program around in Louisville, and mind you, they're playing this game in Lexington, Kentucky. So that's about an hour and a half away or so. So I'm sure there'll be lots of red there. And I'm sure there'll also be a lot of Kentucky fans there too that root against their arch rival. But yeah, I'm going with Louisville there over the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I'm on Louisville too. I just think they're a better team. So there we go.
Yeah, I thought they were a little misseeded. So I don't disagree that UNC should have got in, but if you put UNC in, then how is Louisville an 8 seed?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
No,
and looking at that second round matchup, other than Louisville, I think if Auburn gets past Louisville, they're in the Final Four. The rest of that bracket breaks up pretty good for them. But yeah, if Auburn and Louisville win, which we all picked Louisville, so Creighton's probably going to roll now. But
Which, by the way, Creighton Blue Jays, not two words. They are one word, Blue Jays. So if you see someone type Creighton and it's two words, know that they don't know what they're talking about. Creighton spells it as one word.
Shut the fuck up. All right, next
What do you-
game, Michigan, UC San Diego.
UC San Diego, a team that most of America I don't think even knew existed prior to the brackets getting unveiled. But the Tritons, they are. This is like what, a 2.5 point spread or something like that. It's super close.
Yeah,
Yeah,
won
this was
30
a
games
game-
this year, right?
yeah, they have the longest winning streak in the nation.
Yeah.
This was a game I was going to stay away from picking the upset because I knew it was going to be a popular one. But looking at it, Michigan coming off the Big Ten championship, I think they might be due for a letdown. They turn the ball over a lot. UC San Diego forces a lot of turnovers. They hit threes, which is what you want in an upset. And like I said, it's not even that big of an upset if it happens. It was 2.5 the last I looked. So yeah, I actually have UC San Diego winning 2 games in this bracket.
Ooh, I hate to agree with you here, Scotty, but I actually do have the Tritons as well for all those reasons that you mentioned, especially the turnovers. And it just kind of feels like one of those games where that 12 seed hangs around, gets a couple turnovers, a big stop, maybe a big 3 late. The longer that they're in this game, the more confident they're going to be, which is anyone that springs the upset. But yeah, I like UC San Diego to pull off the upset here.
I'm on Michigan. I think Dusty
All right.
May is one of the best coaches in America. They got 2 7-footers that are going to be impossible for them to stop. And I think the depth of Michigan is going to wear them down. Might keep it close for 30 minutes. Then Michigan
Yeah,
will
if-
pull out.
If Michigan takes care of the ball, then they'll probably roll. But that's the big question. The big guys don't mean anything if they can't get inside, if they're turning the ball over at the 3-point line. So yeah, that's gonna be another fun one. That's one of the best matchups of the first round.
Something that's not fun right now, as American and Mount St. Mary's are late toward in the first half. There, Americans, Matt Rogers down again, and they're working on his knee. He had left the game earlier, came back. Now he's down in a lot of pain. There's 2 trainers dealing with his knee. You hate to see that for a guy who's one of the better players in the Patriot League. It looks like non-contact on that right knee too. So that's
Ooh,
not a great scene there.
Yeah.
All right, next up, one of the last year's Cinderellas with the upset, Yale, 13 seed Bulldogs taking on number 4 Texas A&M. I think Yale is going to stay in this game. A&M can't shoot. They're like one of the worst shooting teams like in this field, and I think they're the only power conference team I think in the field that didn't win a game in their conference tournament or something like that. I'm going to get that stat wrong, but I like Yale to stick around. I've seen it anywhere from 7.5 to 9.5 points. I like the Aggies to win, but I like Yale at that 7.5 to 9.5 to cover there.
Yeah, I'm going with another upset here. I am pretty chalky for the most part in my other brackets, but you mentioned A&M cannot shoot. Yale is 8th in the nation in 3-point shooting percentage. And then if you just do quad 3 and above, get rid of the quad 4 games, they are the best team in the nation this year shooting 3-pointers. They
Wow.
don't shoot a lot, but I think you're going to see them shoot more threes against A&M, and I think they're going to make a lot of them. So I have them winning this one. Part of the reason why I have UC San Diego winning 2 games. I think they get picked off the next round. But yeah, I like Yale in the upset, and we get that 12-13 matchup.
The battle of George W. Bush, right? Yale alum and his libraries at A&M. There you go. Chris?
I'm on A&M. They're going to beat the shit out of the nerds. I'm just too athletic.
All right, short and to the point.
You know why he's picking A&M, right? Buzz Williams, ex-hockey coach. Let's
There
go.
you go.
That's why I'm picking against him.
A game that really intrigues me here, a 6-11 between Ole Miss and North Carolina. Obviously, the Tar Heels just absolutely dispatched San Diego State yesterday, taking on Chris Beard and the Rebels there. Heaven help me. Look, you can't make North Carolina into the feisty underdog, all from the playing game to go. This is still North Carolina. They were the last team in the field, but they're still North Carolina. And if they wake up and look at the collection of talent on that roster and decide to play to their abilities, this is still one of the more dangerous teams in the field. I think this team could go on the run. Maybe they needed that. Maybe they needed everyone to dog on them and get after them to light a spark. Who knows? I hope they fail miserably. It breaks my heart to say it, but Carolina is too talented to be in the position that they are. I like North Carolina over Ole Miss. I actually think they could go on a run here. So giving the Tar Heels begrudgingly.
Wow. I was with you until last night. They played too well last night. They were ahead by 30 the whole game. If they would have won a closer matchup, I probably would have picked them. And I think the winner of this game is going to beat Iowa State in the next round. But I'm going Ole Miss. North Carolina played too well. They're going to be due for a letdown. They're going to be a little too hot. They have been playing well, but I think they're going to be a little too high on themselves. And yeah, I think Ole Miss is going to win.
I'm on North Carolina. I think they're rolling. I've lost so much money betting on and against Ole Miss this year. They pissed me off. Fuck Padula. Fuck Chris Beard. Go Tar Heels.
That's made me throw up in my Coors Light a little bit here. Go Tar Heels. But yeah.
The way you say Coors, it's crazy.
Infuriating. Next up, Iowa State and Lipscomb. I'm not going to lie to you. There's about a handful of schools that I have to think, where are they located? What's their nickname? Lipscomb is one of those. And for right now, it cannot come to me to save my life. It doesn't matter. They'll show up, take a picture, have a good look around. Time to go back to wherever you came from. Iowa State's going to roll in this one.
Yeah. Iowa State has their point guard injured, but it's not going to matter yet.
No.
I do have them losing in the next game to Ole Miss, though.
Next up, Marquette in New Mexico. The Fighting Richard Pitino's there with the Lobos taking on Shaka Smart and those 7-seeded Eagles of Marquette. I think this will be actually one of the more entertaining games in the first round here. I really like the way that New Mexico is playing. I think, obviously they haven't had a ton of opportunities against the top 25. I think they're like 1-1 or something like that. Trenton's schedule was like 78th or whatever, but they do average like 81 points a game. I haven't looked at the over-under to see exactly what that is, but the over could be interesting in this one. But that being said, I'm just going to go with the Big East team. It's too physical. I'm going to go with Marquette.
Yeah, I had a hard time with this one, but I did land on Marquette. The only thing that is giving me pause is maybe Rick Pitino is telling his son the blueprint on Marquette. St. John's beat them 3 times this year.
Fair point.
But New Mexico doesn't have Cam Jones. And you mentioned the physicality, Big East team. Give me Marquette before they lose in the next round. Go Shaka.
I am on New Mexico. So Shaka can take the next flight out to Charlottesville.
Oh, is he?
Zero chance.
Is he buying some wine? Is he going to King Family Vineyards? Is he taking in a polo match? Well, what about Bodo's Bagels? I like those too. Because he ain't coming to UVA. I can tell you that.
Too much swag.
We'll see.
You're getting the Drake. You're getting the Drake coach.
Without a doubt.
Please, no.
Does Tony Bennett have a little brother? Does Bronco Mendenhall have a brother that coaches basketball? That's who Virginia's getting. All right, next up, Michigan State and Bryant. I don't think there's really anything to say here. Izzo, March, Michigan State money line.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right.
Bryant with the points.
Yeah.
Potentially. You want to go down to the Western Quadrant now?
All right, do we want to do it that way, or do we just want to go by region and finish it out?
You want to finish the region then?
I don't care.
Yeah, we all got different teams and shit. Just keep going first round, and then we'll skip to the Final Four or something.
All right, so going down to the Western Quadrant here, Florida taking on Norfolk State. Michael Vick, one of the rule he'd be in attendance there, new football coach of the Spartans. Behold the green and gold, taking on Florida Gators. Arguably the best team in the country right now. They have just been running roughshod through people. SEC champions. Give me Florida big in this one.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe Norfolk State keeps it close for the first 10 minutes or so, but Florida's just too everything, too big, too fast, too good. Yeah.
All right. Next up, UConn, the defending champions, 8 seed, down year for them, taking on the 9 seed Oklahoma. Still weird seeing that SEC next to Oklahoma. Sooners, 34th strength of schedule this year. UConn 79. I feel like this is going to be a really close game. And I don't know what to make of UConn. They've been so up and down this year. I feel like Oklahoma steals a close one here, but I'm too afraid to put that on paper. So I'm going to go ahead and go with UConn, even though my heart isn't in it.
Chris? I want to see
Oklahoma is the team that should not have been in the fucking tournament. UConn's going to beat the shit out of them. Superior coach, superior talent. Oklahoma, fuck off.
I'm not going to go as far to say they shouldn't have been in, but they definitely shouldn't have been a 9 seed. That's ridiculous.
Insane.
But with that being said, I'm picking them to beat UConn before they lose to Florida. Yeah, UConn, you keep waiting for them. Oh, that championship pedigree. They've won 2 in a row. They're going to turn it on, and then they just lay a dud. It just doesn't happen. They're an 8 seed for a reason. Like Oklahoma's probably going to be more motivated. Yeah, Oklahoma wins.
All right. Next up, we got a 5-12 here, which you talk about seeding. This Colorado State team seeded as a 12 seed. Last time I saw, they were the favorite over Memphis. I like Colorado State. Obviously you don't see a ton of them out in the Mountain West there, but that's a very good team. I forget the guy's name, who's the head coach. Was he like Croatian? I want to say, was it Nico something?
Hopefully it's not the Mavs GM.
No, it's not him. It's not him. He wouldn't have traded Luka. But no, I like the way this team plays. A few times I've seen them play this year. I saw Memphis play a little bit down the stretch. Wasn't that super impressed with them? But this feels like a classic. It's not even an upset because the 12 is the favorite from a betting standpoint. So, yeah, I like Colorado State in this one.
Nico Medved.
There we go. Sounds like a Grand Theft Auto character.
I kind of changed my tune on the 5-12 matchups from the last show, Sunday night show. I said I like Colorado State, but now that they're the favorite, I guess I am picking an upset in this one now. I'm taking Memphis. I think they're going to hear a lot about Colorado State being favored and everybody picking them to win. Memphis is a team that they need the motivation to show up. And I think they'll show up, even though I think one of their players is out, Tyrese Hunter, I think. But so I think they'll rally. My boy Penny will get a win. We'll get one win, and that's it. But I think they'll beat Colorado State. And also the Mountain West has been terrible in the tournament for the last decade or so. We saw that last night, San Diego State. Give me Memphis.
Yeah, real quick before Chris goes to his, John Rothstein, I feel like every year just talks up the Mountain West and how good the Mountain West is. And I feel like every year you just get the shit kicked out of them constantly.
He also said there was no way that they beat San Diego State and Ole Miss. I forget the statement, but it was pretty much like, there's zero chance that's happening.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
There we go. All right, Chris, your thoughts on this one?
I'm on Memphis. I just fuck Colorado State for what they did to UVA a few years ago.
A year ago today, because I
was it last year?
I went and looked at my Facebook memories, and that was my temporary profile picture today for an hour.
That may have been the ugliest game of basketball I've ever seen in my entire life.
Fight. It was gross.
It was terrible. All right, next up, we got Maryland taking on Grand Canyon. Interesting situation for the Terps. If they if they beat Bryce Drew's Antelopes, I don't think they're going to go back to the West Coast because I think they go to San Francisco after this. So it would make sense to just mosey on straight down rather than go back to College Park and then go back across country. Maryland taking on Grand Canyon. Give me the Terps here. They're playing really well. What do they call those the Five Guys now, the Crab Five. Yeah,
So stupid.
terrible nickname.
Yeah, I
Awful.
don't like that either. Yeah.
But Maryland wins this one comfortably.
Yeah. I don't know about comfortably. I think Grand Canyon keeps it close. It was 10.5. If it's still 10.5, I'd probably bet Grand Canyon. But Maryland wins. And then they beat Memphis, as you can see there. But this is another one I'm looking forward to. It should be a pretty fun game. I don't know how well Grand Canyon's fans are going to travel. That's going to have a lot to do with it. But yeah, Maryland wins a close one.
Grand Canyon is literally ECPI with dorms and Christianity. That's what that school is. Like it's a for-profit college, and they have athletics and dorms. It's wild.
Yeah. So what else do you have to worry about other than basketball?
Yeah, they are. Go on, Chris.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm on Grand Canyon. Maryland gonna get in foul trouble. They only have 5 good players. They're gonna struggle. Grand Canyon, easy win.
Grand Canyon's run by like a company. I forget the name of it, but you can buy like stock. They're traded under like Lopes or something like that. Like
should we own a college basketball team to go with our soccer team?
Ooh, we do need to expand our portfolio.
Grand Canyon, Final Four. Let's go.
Yeah. Next up, Missouri and Drake. These feel like two schools that, like, if you grew up in, like, I don't know, the St. Louis area and you're looking at, like, where to go to college, if you were, like, a boring kid, just go in-state to Missouri, or you go out of state to, like, where's Drake? Like, Des Moines, Iowa or something, I want to say. It just feels like it's boring. It's where your dad's friend went to college.
I thought he was in Canada.
Drake? No. That would be a little bit of an issue these days. But Missouri and Drake, obviously, Ben McCollum doing a phenomenal job there at Drake in his first year, or second year. Is it first year or second year for him?
Who cares?
I forget. Who cares?
I think it's first.
Yeah, he was tearing it up at the Division II level. I think he won like 4 national championships there. His name has been in the mix for a couple different jobs. I've heard Iowa, Virginia. I heard Indiana briefly. Obviously, that's off the table now. We'll see how they play. I think Missouri, Dennis Gates is getting back one of their players. I forget who it was, but coming back from injury. I like Missouri here to get the win. Should be a close game, though.
I disagree. I like Drake. Missouri's been good in spots. I just think Drake is going to slow. We mentioned their coach being up for the UVA job. It's going to look like a UVA game. And when you do that, you're going to be in it. And I think it's going to bother Missouri. I think they're going to have a tough time. Drake's going to a much better rebounding team. I think that's going to come into effect. This will probably not be a fun game for your casual fan, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to come down to the wire. I think Drake pulls it out.
I'm on Drake. The SEC is overrated.
There you go. All right, Chris. The SEC overrated. Next up.
They are. Okay. SEC is the best conference by far this year.
Not 14 teams good.
But they're also a little overrated.
They're very top heavy, and it carried the rest of the league. Average league at best.
Speaking of which, real quick here, I'm going to bring this in over this graphic, Scotty. The under is 26-9-1 in 6 versus 11 games since 2014. Something to
look at.
Keep in line there. That courtesy of the fine folks over at DraftKings. So something to think about there with Missouri and Drake. Also, a couple more stats on Drake. Drake is 0-5 against the spread in the tournament since 2008.
They're due.
And this is from DraftKings. I think it was yesterday. Haven't checked the updated line, but yesterday they had Drake plus 6.5.
Let's see. When do they play?
That is tomorrow.
Thursday.
I think the over-under was 132.5 on this one as of yesterday.
It's still 6.5, 133.5 now.
133.5.
Yeah, attack that under.
Yeah, the public.
50 to 45 game.
So just something to keep in the back of your mind there. All right.
Scotty, and I changed my mind. I'm not doing the first half unders. I'm doing first half. I'm either going to do underdog money lines or just spread. I haven't decided yet. or I might mix it up.
For the first time in 7 years, I am not off to watch these games, so I won't be as fully invested as I normally am. So I'm going to do a bunch of race to tens. So when people hear me cursing in my office,
So what?
race to
bunch of what?
tens. So
Who gets to 10
Uh,
points first?
yeah, who gets
That
10
was
points first?
that was crazy seeing last year at the sports book how many people were
Oh my
were on
god,
those.
unreal.
Oh,
Every time somebody hits 10, you hear people either screaming or hollering or
a random
pissed off.
mid-range GA from USC, and everyone's going nuts. Yeah,
I'm like, what just happened? I'm looking
Yeah.
for like a final. I'm like, that many people bet first to 10?
All right,
Degenerate fucks.
Scotty, if you can bring it back in here, we're picking up with Texas Tech and UNC Wilmington, 14th
Did
seed.
you kick me out? Oh, you brought up
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
graphic.
When I brought that in, that kicked it out. The 14th seeded Skyhawks there. UNC, is it Skyhawks or Seahawks?
Seahawks.
Seahawks. Yeah, that's
Skyhawks is LC
LC
Bird.
Bird. Yeah, that's right.
Boo.
That's
My kid's
Bird
school.
football.
Piece of shit.
You just doxed your kid. That's great.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right.
Kidnap them.
Are you calling the school or your kid a piece of shit? Don't answer that.
Don't answer. Yes, please. All right. So UNC Wilmington. Brent Blizzard isn't walking through that door. Remember when he hit like 7 threes against Maryland? UNC Wilmington, coached by former NC State assistant. I always pronounce his first name wrong. Takeo Sedell or whatever. Hopefully, if he leaves and takes another job, it works out better for him than it did Kevin Keats, though he did have that one in Final Four. Taking on Texas Tech. Too much Red Raiders here. Give me Texas Tech.
Yeah, I agree. You'll see, I have Texas Tech going really far in this tournament. I think they're really good. Most importantly, they are really good on the road. Texas Tech destroys them.
Yeah, I think Texas Tech is probably one of the 5 best teams in this tournament.
Ooh.
This fucking region is loaded. I think they have
Yes.
3 of the best 5 teams in the
Dude.
tournament right now.
Straight up stole my analysis. I was going to say the same thing. It is a tough bracket. It kind of sucks.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah,
next,
Texas Tech big.
Next up, we got the rights for who can put Kansas in their name with Arkansas, also known as Arkansas, taking on Kansas. They played a bowl game a couple years ago. I forget who won, but I remember that was a big storyline there. And a great coaching matchup. Coach Cal going up against Bill Self here. I've gone back and forth on this one a million times. I have no idea where to go, which way to go on this one. I'm gonna go with Kansas. I don't trust Coach Cal anymore. He doesn't have John Wall. He doesn't have all those guys he had at Kentucky. It feels like he's not a good tournament coach, and he hasn't been for some time. I'm going to go with Kansas here. Hunter Dickinson probably has a big game for them. Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Can you really trust Kansas though? Kansas is a team that
That's very true.
I have hit my last, I think, 2 bets on them, but before that, no matter whether I bet on them or against them, I would always lose. So they've been a team I can't really figure out. But this is when I immediately picked Arkansas. I just think Kansas needs like a slow team to play against for them to be any good, because Hunter Dickinson just turns the ball over like 30 times a game if he's pressured at all. It's pretty embarrassing to watch after how good he was supposed to be coming from Michigan. But yeah, I think Calipari is going to just have them guys run up and down the floor. They have good guard play. I can't remember the guard's name they transferred from FAU.
I know you're talking about, yeah.
I always forget his name, but he's been in the Final Four. I think he's going to control the game. Like I said, they're going to run up and down, be aggressive, and that's what you need to do to beat Kansas. KJ Adams is going to be out there playing 1-on-5 at times like he tends to do. And yeah, I think Arkansas pulls off. I don't even know if you can consider this an upset, but yeah, go Arkansas.
You know what? I'm gonna hit the Uno reverse card here, and I'm gonna flip my pick to Arkansas, especially as I look down this board. Especially as I look down this board and I look at the matchup that could happen, and I think I'm just willing this to happen. So I'm gonna go Arkansas. Chris?
Yeah, that is the exact reason why I'm on Kansas. Everybody is writing Kansas off this year. They're going to have bulletin board material. Calipari against Pitino is what everybody's looking ahead to. I don't think Arkansas is that good. And I
No.
think Bill Self, by far the better coach in this matchup. I think Kansas is more talented. They've just played like shit this year, but they got some motivation going into it. Everybody's overlooking them, betting against them because they want to see Calipari and Patino shaking hands at midcourt in the next game, and it's not going to happen. Kansas rolls. SEC overrated.
Okay, Chris going with Kansas. Next up here, we got St. John's taking on Omaha. What Rick Pitino has done, at St. John's has been nothing short of phenomenal. I mean, the turnaround there, it feels like the '80s again. They're packing the Garden, and the fans are excited. And when you're in that New York market, it's hard to garner attention. It's a college, obviously, it's such a pro sports town, and like people are calling WFA in. They're talking about St. John's basketball. Feels good to see that program back again. Omaha's been a tremendous story. They're beating the hell out of trash cans. They got a great culture. The teams, everyone's loving it.
That's tremendous culture.
Yeah, but I mean, it's fun. I mean, hey, if you're in Omaha,
That's how you know you're not a good basketball team is when you talk about culture.
without a doubt.
Ask the Heat.
Beating trash cans.
Heat culture. Hey, those trash cans at the Walmart and the Hy-Vee there in Omaha, they'll finally get to rest easy, at least until football season. I don't even know if they have football at Omaha. I don't think so. But yeah, give me St. John's big on this one.
Yeah, real quick. I only need 42 points in the second half to hit my over. Let's go. If that shit don't hit, you're going to be getting a lot of text from me if that's it. But yeah. So I will say this. Trying to look ahead, like if there was one game that you could look at to say there's no way this upset happens and it happens, it would be this one because everybody's been on St. John's. They've looked so good. Patino, his resume. They're a trendy pick to go all the way to the Final Four. And then whatever Omaha comes in as a 15 seed and goes 14. I don't even know anything about them, but they go 14 for 15 from 3 and pull off the upset. This would be the one game that I could see just being a shock. But no, St. John's, they're going to roll. They should.
Yeah, right. St. John's, the second best team, in my opinion, in the tournament behind Florida. Yeah, it shouldn't be close. Patino's going to have them ready to go. They're going to show no mercy. Sweep the leg.
St. John's. Let's move over to the right, Scotty. Let's start at the bottom right here of the Midwestern region here. Let's go with Tennessee and Wofford. Vols are another team I think they can make a deep run. I really like this Tennessee team, obviously coming off the SEC championship loss to Florida. They're going to
starting at the 215 down here.
I figured it's just right there. I can work my way back up.
All right. You really meant the bottom. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to make a right bottom joke, but
pulled out of that one. But yeah, I'll just figure I'll start there. I can work my way back up. All right. So Tennessee, Wofford, no contest in this one. Tennessee rolls all day over the Terriers.
Yeah, I got Tennessee going far. I know Chris is not going to agree, and I understand because of Rick Barnes, blah, blah, blah. But I just really like this team. The guard played the defense. Maybe they can overcome their coach. But yeah, Tennessee big.
I might surprise you. I got Tennessee in this one.
Well, I know, in this one, but I know you're not going to have them going very far.
We'll see.
2 wins the most.
Next up here, a 7-10 matchup with UCLA and the Aggies of Utah State. Give me the 10 seed. Give me the Aggies on this team. I like, I've seen a little bit of them in the Mountain West this year. When I've been up late, they score, I think, just over 80 points a game or so. And I really like the guard, Ian Martinez. He's averaging 16, almost 17 points a game. They're a solid all-around player. Give me Utah State to spring the upset.
I had a really tough time with this one. I just picked Utah State. I can't really tell you why. No analysis on this one. I just haven't seen either one really play that much this year. I know a lot of people like UCLA, but people like Utah State too. Utah State breaks the Mount West trend, pulls off the mild upset.
I'm on Utah State as well. So everybody
Oh,
hammer
shit.
UCLA.
Boom.
By 20.
Do you guys know who is the football coach at Utah State?
Don't care.
Bronco
Kentucky
Mendenhall.
Troy. No.
And
Chris
what
Coley
for?
went there. I know
I
that.
was
Wasn't
just
he
about
at-
to say. Chris
Wasn't
Cooley
he
was there.
just at New Mexico State or something?
He was at New Mexico for like a year or something like that, and then
And
left.
now he's at Utah State.
He's at Utah State. Logan, Utah. Beautiful Logan, Utah.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's
Fuck that
where Ryan Odom came from.
Yeah.
Please
Didn't,
don't go to UVA.
didn't
Ryan
that-
Odom.
Didn't that Shulga guy from VCU? Didn't he transfer from Utah State?
Yeah.
Then he
That Shulga guy is the A10 player of the year, sir.
Well, he should have been a
Put some
Villanova
respect on
Wildcat.
his name.
He should have been a Villanova Wildcat, but that's a story for
Why?
Bronco
He didn't-
Mendenhall is my Will Wade. I think I've decided that.
There you go.
I'm gonna hate watch him for the rest of my life.
Shulga went into the portal. He was like going to go to Nova. He was all like set and done. VCU somehow, some way managed to get some money. I guess they took away
Yeah,
the
somehow,
three
some way,
books.
because their coach came over and it looks like it worked out. What's Villanova doing?
The 3 books that they had in the library, they went and pawned those, and VCU.
and donated them to your college.
I left a trail of broken colleges and broken hearts back in the day. All right. Speaking of broken hearts, one of my favorite things is when Kentucky thought they'd upset LSU that time in football and tore down the goalpost while LSU was scoring a touchdown in the other end zone. We'll see if the Wildcats get their hearts broken like that when they take on the mighty Trojans of Troy in the 13-4 matchup. Mark Pope, by the way, did you hear the offer that he made to Kentucky fans?
No.
Mark Pope said on his radio show the other day that if you need help with gas money, to let him know. He was going to help cover the gas for Wildcat
I
fans.
did hear that.
Yeah, and literally like 2 minutes later on the coach's show, you see someone come over to him and like, he's like, what they're saying is like the email is exploding. And some student was like, Coach, I'm in spring break in Florida right now. It's a however long drive to Milwaukee. I can be there in a couple days, me and my girlfriend, but I need gas and I need a ticket. He goes like, my guy just went from gas to now asking for tickets. Right?
Yeah. He's gonna regret that.
It's gonna be
It's gonna be mostly people that were coming anyways.
It's gonna be the Beverly Hillbillies take on Milwaukee with all those Kentucky fans. But big Blue Nation rolls over Troy.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people like Troy just because it's Kentucky and their history. But I think they're gonna hear about that. They're gonna come out ready to play. Yeah, Kentucky big. Well, I won't say big. I think Troy might cover, but Kentucky wins.
Calipari's gone. Kentucky rolls.
All right, next up, we got Illinois taking on the winner of the late game tonight. Between Texas and Xavier. I don't really think it matters who comes out of this one. I'm gonna go with the Illini.
So this might be the one game I choose, depending on who wins that matchup tonight. Regardless, I think any of those 3 teams is losing to Kentucky. So I think Illinois beats Xavier if they win, but I think Texas gets them which I think they will. Which is what I don't like about this play-in. It messes up your bracket. I don't like it. But
I'm on the exact opposite of you, Scotty. I think Xavier beats Illinois, and I think Texas gets stomped. So,
all right. I guess we'll see tonight.
For now,
really, I
I'm on
have.
Illinois.
Okay. So that's just kind of a placeholder, but really, I think Texas ends up playing Kentucky and losing. Illinois I don't know. I really don't know what to make of them. They've just kind of been underwhelming all year. So yeah, give me not Illinois, even though it says Illinois.
Okay.
If Xavier wins, then I'm probably picking Illinois still.
Okay. Next up, we got the 4-13 matchup between Purdue. Was Zach Edey, that 7-foot Goliath. Obviously, no Zach Edey this year for them. Taking on High Point, 13 seed. And Scotty, you had a little stat you want to bring up about High Point.
Is it a stat or is it
a story?
I will say. So we did have Chris's friend Casey commenting in between roasting him that he likes High Point. So we talked about it a little bit, At first, I was like, maybe, because it is Purdue. We know Purdue's history of not counting last year. But we saw Fairleigh Dickinson, blah, blah, blah. But so I was like, High Point. They went kind of viral with the goofy white dude with the hair making the weird face running around like he just dropped 50.
There's always one. Every year, every tournament, there's always one.
It's like, all right, maybe they have some hype. Classic Purdue letdown. But then I can't find it. Can you bring it up?
Yeah,
we saw
I got
this.
But then I saw this.
High Point University. I don't know if you guys know anything about High Point. I actually talked to Kelly Keegs, our coworker, who went to High Point. They have the second longest win streak in the country right now with 14. High Point University they basically made like a Sims college because it looks like Disneyland. There's like 15 pools. There's Max, you're going to like this because I know I liked it. There is a ice cream truck that's free to all students that you can get in between classes.
It's free all the time?
Yeah.
That is an incredible. That's
I think it's part of your meal thing, but it's like you just go, you get ice cream.
That is the best perk.
High Point also has a steak restaurant that you can go to once a month free. And it is the goal of the steak restaurant is it's a fine dining learning lab, aims to teach students business and social etiquette, including how to eat in a professional setting. They're literally teaching them how to eat. High Point's not real world.
So first of all, that sounds amazing. How can you get better than that? Free ice cream, free steak once a month. That's pretty insane. Who wouldn't love that? I wish I could go back and go to High Point. With that being said, how can you have an underdog mentality when you're living in paradise on campus, getting free ice cream and steak every day? There's no way. They just can't, like I said, they can't have that underdog mentality. They're living life. They're happy. They don't care if they lose. They're just going to be there. Purdue's got more to prove. Purdue's going to win and cover.
Purdue's going to win. Go on, Chris.
Go ahead. I was going to say, I wasn't paying attention. Where the fuck is High Point?
High Point is in High Point, North Carolina. It's like, if you look on the map, there's Winston-Salem and there's Winston-Salem, Greensboro. High Point is like here. So it's like in a little triad there. It's the furniture capital of the world. You want good furniture, you go to High Point. Gentlemen,
and it's also like the 8th best North Carolina basketball school.
Yeah, if you want to impress your woman, guys, take her to a weekend to High Point, North Carolina for furniture shopping. You can watch some hoops. Take her out to the on-campus steakhouse. Probably going to be feeling pretty good about yourself. Just a little talk.
These kids can't wait to get back on campus.
Yeah,
they don't want to be. Where's this game? Where's this game at?
I didn't even look to see where this one is. But also, Scotty, you mentioned like living too good of a life. Let's not forget Florida Gulf Coast had a lazy river, and they're like right next to the ocean for whatever. Florida Atlantic too. They made it to the Final Four. So just because you come from a good place doesn't necessarily mean you want to go back there.
Florida Gulf Coast also had like 7 dudes that were freaks and could just throw lobs and dunk on everybody. High Point is not doing that.
High Point Purdue is at the Amica Mutual Pavilion in beautiful Providence, Rhode Island.
Oh, yeah. They want to get the fuck out of there.
Who the fuck wants to be in Rhode Island? You kidding me? Did they even serve ice cream there?
Rhode Island, and it's not June, and you're not on the water. No, not so much. So give me Purdue big in that one. But also, shout out to Barstool Sports for that video. Pardon my take, courtesy of them. And they're talking about the lovely and talented Kelly Keegs with Barstool, who also may be a legit psychopath allegedly, but she's very attractive. All right. Moving on to the next one here. I just want to put that out there. The Battle of Will Wade.
Chris, did you pick that game, Chris?
Oh, yeah, I'm on Purdue.
Yeah. The Battle of Will Wade, taking on his alma mater, future NC State coach, leading his 12th seeded Cowboys of McNeese State, taking on the 5 seed Clemson. We know that they'll be facing off a lot more often now in the future with Will Wade going to Raleigh, but let's see how distracted his guys are as they take on Clemson in that 12-5 matchup. I was leaning toward the McNeese State upset until the news leaked that Will Wade was going to be the NC State coach. This is like one of the best seasons in Clemson history. I don't think it's going to come to an end on their former player knocking them off before going to a rival school like this. You got to wonder. Obviously, McNeese has a lot of seniors on that roster. There are a few guys with some eligibility left. Are they going to go in the portal? They're going to come to him for Raleigh. What are they going to do? A lot of people probably making some business decisions, thinking about their future. How locked in are they to this game right now? I'm going to go with Clemson to get the win just because the Will Wade news leaked.
Yeah, I was on Clemson before that, even more so now. Just like last year, McNeese was a popular upset pick, and then they got blown out in the first round. And then you got Clemson. Again, I mentioned it Sunday night. Last year, they made the Elite Eight, and nobody was really talking about them. And it's been kind of the same thing this year. Yeah, I think they're going to win. As you see on here, I have them winning 2, maybe 3 games. Oh, no, you can see Gonzaga. Yeah, I have them winning 2 games. Yeah, just Clemson just under the radar. McNeese, everybody's going to be talking about Will Wade leaving. Will Wade don't give a shit about this game. Yeah, give me Clemson. Clemson wins. Clemson also covers the 7.5.
Clemson really fucking good. Nobody's paid attention. They should have been a 3 seed. They got fucked there. But they are a very good team. They're going to go far. Brownell just proving that he is one of the last elite coaches in the ACC. Clemson big.
Yeah, I heard a stat the other day. I don't know if it was seniors, juniors, or just altogether. It had to be seniors, I'm guessing. But there's only 4 players in the ACC that are on the same team that they started at, and 2 of them were on Clemson. Hunter and I forget the other one of their other starters. I forget who it was. But yeah, so they have that. They have that. That connectivity. They've been there forever. Yeah, just go Clemson.
That's insane when you think about how much like movement there is. All right, we got 2 Bulldogs, the Battle of Bulldogs, right? Gonzaga's the Bulldogs, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
As you can see the picture of the Bulldog on the fucking graphic here.
Well, he could have been a. That's a good point. I got nothing for you there. All right, Georgia.
Hopefully, Gonzaga is better drivers.
Ooh,
safer drivers.
Ooh. Taking on Georgia, the Dogs, one of those 14 SEC schools that are there. I think this might be this could be one of the best 8-9 matchups. I don't feel like a lot of people are talking about Georgia. Like they're not getting a lot of respect there. But aren't they like?
They're not good. They're mediocre. They got carried.
Yeah, they came in were they like 5-5 down the stretch, whereas I think Gonzaga's won like 9 of their last 10. I want to say
something like that.
I think Georgia's been decent, but I don't know. I feel like they're kind of taking advantage of some situations, like good situations for them, where maybe teams come in not really up for playing Georgia because who cares about Georgia basketball? But I mean. They're not a bad team, but if you look at my bracket here, if Georgia beats Gonzaga, I'm in trouble.
Toast.
Yeah, Gonzaga is the team. I'm taking Gonzaga. I think they were looking like a title contender coming in preseason and all that, and then they started like shit. And they got a really good point guard, so that matters obviously in the tournament. Yeah, I think they're in the form now. I think they're playing their best ball. Yeah, give me Gonzaga. They better win.
Gonzaga. Okay, Chris, where are you going? I'm still making my mind up on this one.
I'm on Gonzaga. Georgia, mediocre at best. They got nothing for Gonzaga. Much better coach, Mark Few. Better talent. Georgia's going home.
Yeah, I feel like I want to take the upset just to take an upset, but that's dumb. Yeah, go
What's the line on this?
8-9s aren't upsets. I don't know. I would guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Geez, Gonzaga -6.5.
Yeah, that shows you that Georgia is overrated, and so is the SEC because This is a down year for Gonzaga.
Okay, yeah, give me Give me the Zags. I'll take Gonzaga here too. I think originally when I filled this out, I think I had put Georgia. The more I think about it, how do you go against Gonzaga in this spot? So yeah, give me Gonzaga, and then I'll go ahead and start up Houston against SIEU.
It's
Yeah,
UE.
SIU.
SIUE.
Excuse me. So it sounds like a labor union. Okay, if you're playing a school that sounds like a labor union, take the school that's not the labor union. Give me Kelvin Sampson. That's suffocating Houston defense there.
Yeah, I really like Houston. I hate that they're going to have to play Gonzaga after this, but you mentioned labor union. A lot of the SIUE players are probably going to be in one in a few years. They'll be lucky. They're not cracking 40. Houston big.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. And Chris, I see that you've sent us a graphic here that I'm trying to bring in here.
It's gonna save that for later.
Yeah, I know. I'm
When
letting
we
you
start
know.
talking about it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know I'm working on it here. You sent the most
Okay.
fucked up dimensions of all time. So it
I
ain't gonna be
just put it in a text message.
it ain't gonna be the prettiest girl in the world, but
Whatever.
that's the way it usually
Well,
goes for you. So all right. What is
Nice banger.
usually I'm much better with my schools. What the hell is SIUE? Is that
it's
Southern?
Illinois, right?
Yeah, Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. That's right. They're in like
I
they're
heard
like
about them once on the radio.
the Cougars or whatever. Aren't they?
Somebody was it DraftKings? I think put a no, it was Hard Rock. It was pretty funny because Hard Rock sent out an email about I guess it's gamblers awareness or like problem gamblers awareness month. So they sent out an email for that, and then like an hour later they post a guy betting on SIUE to win the whole tournament. Like,
that is
like that guy has a problem.
that is down bad. That is down bad. All right, let's move up to the next quadrant here. That's going to be the East. We'll go top down in traditional fashion with the East here. Duke taking on the winner of American and Mount St. Mary's. American right now down 52-42, looking more and more like it might be the Mount. Though the Eagles just got a 3 here as I try to break broadcast rules by broadcasting live on the air. I don't think it's going to matter who wins this game, though. I don't think we're going to see a recreation of the scene from the White Lotus with the Duke guy with the gun to his head. So I'm going to go ahead and take Duke big over whoever they end up playing here.
Yeah, Duke. Put if there was ever a bet to put your entire house on, it's Duke. Bet $1 million to win 1,000. Still good odds.
Yeah. Chris,
Yeah.
you're
Duke is, when fully healthy, one of the top 5 teams in this tournament. Don't think they're going to need flag for the first game. So yeah, they'll roll.
let me ask you guys this. What would you all do? A lot of talk about this in the pregame show before this game. Would you let him play? I think it was Jalen Rose was saying, hey, this is the load management area. He was kind of joking, like, sit this guy out, let him play in the second round. I think it was Jay Wright that said, hey, you want to get him out there, see how he feels, at least work him out a little bit so you know what you have going into that second round game where you're going to face a more dangerous team in an 8 or a 9. What would you guys do?
Yeah, Jay Williams not known for always making the best decisions. So I will go with Jay Wright. You got to play him a little bit. Play him 15 minutes, whatever. Get him out there. Get the rust off. See how he reacts. They're not going to need him for the game, but I think you do need to get him out there for a little bit.
Probably
Yeah, get him up.
early on, just test it.
Yeah, get him up and down. Tell him he's not allowed to dunk. Just work in the post. Just to get his legs back a little bit. Maybe 10, 15 minutes. But they're going to be up by 40 at half, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you don't need to get them going and for a big portion of time, just get them up and going. All right, next up, we got an 8-9 matchup here between Mississippi State and Baylor. I've gone back and forth on this one a million times. Chris, you're going to like this one. I don't have a lot of analysis on this. I'm just going to go ahead and take Baylor.
Same here, really. I just think Baylor's better. I don't know. Doesn't really matter because I think either team is going to get destroyed by Duke in the next game. But yeah, let's just go Baylor.
Yeah, Baylor on a down year, but they have a far superior coach. Mississippi State, mediocre at best, carried by the top of the SEC. SEC overrated.
I knew that was coming. All right, so yeah, going with Baylor there. Next up, Oregon and Liberty. I've seen some trendy picks on this as a 12-5 with Liberty. Not so fast, my friend. I'm gonna go Ducks. Pretty comfortably on this one here. A couple things I want to bring in on Oregon real quick though. If I have that in front of me here,
You picked
Oregon
graphics
has
for fucking Oregon?
I saw a couple things. Oregon has covered in 7 straight first round games here. So, and then as of I think it was yesterday, the line was 7.5. Oregon there. So I do like the Ducks to cover and win comfortably there. Though we can't bet this in the great state of Virginia because of
Unfortunately.
Falwell's boys are located within state borders. So there's that.
I almost went Liberty. I just can't do it. Liberty is capable of just catching fire. They are a really good 3-point shooting team. But I don't know. I just think Oregon's a little too good. Oregon's not the most consistent team, but they are capable of making a run in this tournament. I don't know that they will, but I wouldn't be shocked if Liberty pulls off the upset. But I'm going Oregon.
Okay, going with Oregon there.
Scotty, you know who Liberty's head coach is, right?
If you tell me, I'll probably remember, but no.
Former UVA associate head coach, Richie McKay.
I don't know who that
Does
is,
that
but,
change your mind at all?
So
Former
yeah,
former head coach in
Oregon,
New Mexico.
Oregon by 30.
Which, by the way, Rich McKay, a name I have not heard mentioned at all for the Virginia opening. He probably has no shot in hell whatsoever.
And that's why we're not getting the Drake guy, because they want to go in a different direction.
Yeah, and I think that's best for the program is to move beyond
Yes,
the
please.
Tony era. So
I need
all right.
offense.
there we go.
Give
So
me Oregon.
next up here, we got Arizona taking on Akron. John Groch, I think he sent a bunch of stuff to Barstool, trying to get Barstool Tate behind them because since Ohio State isn't in the field there. Feel good story with Akron. I've heard a lot of good things about the team and their culture and stuff. Scotty, I'm going to bring in one more graphic here. Arizona, obviously a team that perennially underperforms in the tournament. Arizona is 3-14-1 against the spread in their last 18 tournament games. 3-14-1 against the spread here. As of yesterday, the line on this was Arizona by 14.5. So something to keep. The back door could be open.
Still 14.5. All those lines are the same.
Back door could be open.
I'll say Akron covers, Arizona wins. I think Akron's good enough that Arizona's going to be up for the game. Like you said, backdoor, or maybe it's close in the first half and Arizona pulls away late. But I don't think Arizona wins this one.
Chris?
Yeah,
anybody brave enough?
Not I.
I'll put money on Akron, but not in my bracket. I'm going Arizona, but plus 750 is sexy. And
they're worth
13-4. That's easy. There's going to be one. Which one is it? That's the yeah, I'm going Arizona though.
All right. Next up from that, we got in Denver at the very bland Ball Arena. We got Denver taking on Denver. We got BYU taking on VCU. The game's in Denver at Ball Arena. And that just got me thinking about BYU, and I'm missing out West. Leave me alone.
He's thinking about balls. We get it.
Pretty much. VCU, look, far be it for me to say anything positive ever about VCU. But 11 seed feels like they got shafted there a little bit. They played this year in the A10 champion. Feels like they probably should have been a 9 or something along those lines. But give me the Cougs. And this is just pure hate. There's no analysis in this. I just hate VCU. So give me the Cougs.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, I got pretty much the exact opposite here. So I did say I think BYU is going to win on Sunday night. And the more I think about it, I think both of these teams got fucked with the draw. Like you said, VCU should have been a 9 or 10 seed. BYU probably should have been a 4 or 5. And as you can see, I picked the VCU here. It's just because I was so close. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna pick VCU. This will be the one game I pick with my my heart over my head. Whoever wins this game is beating Wisconsin in the next round. I just think so. Stylistically, this is a bad matchup for BYU, but also BYU is so good that it might not matter. BYU tear up. The one thing they can't do is defend the 3-point line. They can't stop teams from shooting it, and they can't stop them from making it. VCU, percentage-wise, not the best 3-point shooting team, but they take a lot of them. So if they're hitting the threes, they're going to win. And we know VCU in the tournament. I think they're going to hit some threes. I think their defense is going to do just enough. Honestly, I got to take it on BYU in the Final Four also. So I guess that's hedging a little bit. I'll be rooting for VCU. I'm really looking. This is going to be a great game. I almost wish I wasn't rooting for VCU so I could just enjoy this game because I think it's going to be a really good one.
Yeah. I'm
interested to see what style comes through. Like Chris was saying, this is Sunday. It's going to be an up and down game. Really looking forward to it. I have no clue who's going to win this game, but on my bracket, I got VCU.
All right.
Yeah. Go Rams, go.
Can they spell Rams? Is that a requirement at VCU? Can you spell the school name or the mascot? Does that like
no? But they're allowed
get you
to
in?
have sex. So go Rams.
There's a lot of things I could say about that. They're probably doing some Rams there too. So, all right. So VCU, you got with the win. I'm of course going with BYU, and the Mormons there. Should be a lot of. I mean, look, Provo is a short flight to Denver. Should be a lot of BYU fans there.
Yeah.
Next up, Wisconsin and Montana. Don't know anything at all about the Grizzlies. Give me Montana money line comfortably. Excuse me. Give me Wisconsin money line comfortably. Sorry, I'm tired.
I was gonna say this is another one that wouldn't shock me if I haven't watched Montana all year, but it's just Wisconsin's kind of bad defense, good offense. They're not hitting shots, and Montana is. This could be one of them March moments, but I'm picking Wisconsin. Doesn't matter. Either team is losing to VCU in the next round.
Correct. Go Wisconsin.
All right. And then next up, we got St. Mary's taking on Vanderbilt. St. Mary's is a very good team. I think they could be a dangerous 7 right here with the potential to potentially knock off 2 SEC teams in a row, assuming Alabama gets by Robert Morris. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But, give me St. Mary's to get the win over Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I agree. St. Mary's is a very difficult team to project in the tournament. Last year, I thought they were a sleeper Final Four team, and then I believe they lost in the first round. They're just one of those teams like UVA. They always have that. I'm not dogging UVA here. This is unbiased analysis. But when you play that style where you just play super slow and you have these low-scoring games, it just takes one player to get hot to beat you. I don't think that's going to happen against Vanderbilt. I think they'll be good enough. I do think that Alabama St. Mary's, that's an intriguing matchup styles. St. Mary's.
Yep. Vanderbilt, mediocre at best, carried by the top teams in the SEC. St. Mary's, SEC's overrated.
Did you
pick
against?
Go 14-0.
Exactly. I'm like, did you pick against the whole SEC? All right. Then next up, Bama and Robert Morris. Where's this game at?
Not at Robert Morris. I know that.
It's close though. I feel like it's.
What day is it?
Is it in Raleigh?
I don't believe it is. Let me go and pull up my.
I got it. I got you. It's on True TV. Nothing like watching Robert Morris in good old Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, that's right. I knew it was somewhere close. What Cleveland to Pittsburgh is 70, 80 miles? Like it's not far. Obviously, you don't have to worry about, as many fans going there as like Louisville fans from Lexington, Kentucky. But still, like,
is that where Robert Morris is?
Robert Morris is in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Who gives a fuck? Alabama's going to beat them by 40.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're going to kill him, but still, though, I mean, if you're a 2
never
seed
met the
and
guy.
you're playing in the backyard of a 15, essentially, like,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not going to happen.
If your college is a name that not everybody knows, you're probably not very good. Who is Robert Morris?
It was a Revolutionary War. They beat Kentucky in the NIT years ago. I want to say it's from the part of Pittsburgh that Coach Cal is from. Forget what part
Yeah,
of Pittsburgh that is,
zero chance. Even if they're hitting threes or whatever it is that they do, Alabama's just going to score too many points.
Oh yeah, they're going to smoke them. But yeah. All right, so we just went through the entire first round there. You guys want to do final fours?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
Scotty, actually, you know what? I'll start.
Let's just go through each region now from the 32 on. Just real quick. We don't have to go into each game.
Okay.
Okay, go.
All right. Want to go first? All right.
Yeah, sure.
What is this? South. All right. So I have Auburn coming out of the South, although I think, like I said, if they get past Louisville, I do think Louisville can beat them. But I think they'll ultimately get past them. I have them playing UC San Diego. I think they're coming out, so that's my pick here. I got Michigan State playing them in the Elite Eight. Let's see, I do have Ole Miss upsetting Iowa State, but I think Michigan State gets them. Maybe I'm trusting Izzo a little too much, but I have chalk. I have chalk as far as the Elite Eight goes, 1 versus 2, and Auburn winning.
Okay. My South, I actually have North Carolina making it to the Sweet 16, where they lose to Michigan State. Once again, I got chalk going into that regional final there with Auburn knocking off Michigan State there in the Elite Eight. I don't have any other upsets or anything on that side.
All right. I have Louisville beating North Carolina to go to the Final Four.
Oh, so you're all ACC.
Ooh.
You're super fuck the SEC.
Oh, wow. Look at the cards in the Final Four. Okay.
You better not change that shit either. It's on paper
no, it's
now.
locked, bro.
You stick it.
I mean, you could change it until
Thursday. I do one entry in everything.
Yeah.
Right.
I do one bracket of integrity because I am a noble man.
There's
the one time you have integrity.
Going over to the West, as much as I wanted to so badly put Colorado State in the Elite Eight. I just couldn't do it. I could not see them going past. I couldn't put them in the Sweet 16. Excuse me. I couldn't see them going past Maryland. So I do have Maryland winning that game. I have Florida over Maryland. I have Florida beating St. John's in the Elite Eight there. Chalk 1-2. I don't know. I feel very chalky this tournament. Florida, in my opinion, is probably the best team in the country right now. I have them over St. John's and going to the Final Four.
All right. A little chalky, but not quite. Maryland's a team that they could get to the Final Four or they could lose the Grand Canyon. Who knows? Wouldn't be surprised to see them beat Florida. But I do have Florida and Texas Tech in the Elite Eight. I have Texas Tech beating St. John's, and if I want to see that matchup, that'd be a really good game. I just like Texas Tech. They're one of the best road teams in the nation. I think they'll beat Florida. And that's who I have coming out of the West.
Nice. All right. In my Sweet 16, I have Florida beating Grand Canyon and St. John's over Texas Tech. Florida beating St. John's.
So you have Grand Canyon in the Sweet 16?
Yes.
Well, I guess if they beat Maryland
and Memphis.
Okay. Yeah. Don't hate that. All right.
Okay.
And then who'd you have in the other Sweet 16?
St. John's or Texas Tech.
And then you have St. John's.
Florida over St. John's.
Okay. All right. That bracket, that's 1 through 3 in that bracket is insane.
Yeah. It's tough. That's the group of death, as they would say in soccer. All right. Moving over
to the bottom again.
Yeah, let's start at the bottom. Moving over to the Midwest, and Scotty, you take it away there.
All right. So this is the one where I kind of have my most surprising picks, I would guess. I have Gonzaga beating Houston, beating Clemson, getting all the way to the Elite Eight, where they lose to Tennessee. I have Kentucky winning 2 games. I'm just thinking of Texas. If Texas wins tonight, I'll still take Kentucky over Texas. Yeah, so Tennessee, Gonzaga in the Elite Eight. And I don't know, for some reason, I just really like this Tennessee team. That'll probably come back to bite me. But yeah, I have Tennessee coming out of this bracket, beating Gonzaga.
So my thoughts on this changed. Originally, when I put this in earlier today, before I wiped it out and we did it here on the show, this is one of the things that I changed. I had McNeese State in the Sweet 16 here. Obviously, Will Wade news coming out changes a lot of things on that for me. Take them out, put put Clemson into the Sweet 16 for me. I have them actually losing to the Houston Cougars. I have my regional final here being Houston and Tennessee. Tennessee getting past Kentucky, going chalk again. But I like Tennessee to finally get the better of that Houston defense. Really like this Rick Barnes team. I think they're well coached. Like what Justin Gainey is doing with them as well. He's going to be a head coach. It's only a matter of time somewhere. The former NC State guard. Give me Tennessee over Houston coming out of the Midwest.
All right, so I need Gonzaga. If Gonzaga beats Houston, then you probably can't beat me.
Yes.
All right, so my Sweet 16, I have Houston and Clemson. Clemson beating Houston. And then Kentucky, Tennessee. Tennessee winning. Tennessee beating Clemson to go to the Final Four. So everybody go ahead and pick Tennessee to lose.
Wow. We all got Tennessee in the Final Four. How the fuck did that happen? They're losing to Wofford.
Yeah. It might. I think that.
God damn it.
Terry is going to bite him.
I really thought I'd be the only one with Tennessee in the Final Four.
There we go.
You
Jesus.
assholes.
It looks good, man.
I hate you guys.
Next up in the East, I'll go ahead and just start this one off to wrap it up. No surprise, I got Duke coming out of the East here. I got them taking on Alabama in the final here, getting past Bama.
Williams.
I went really chalk.
Williams.
Were
you all 1-2s like Jay Williams?
Was I all 1-2s? No. I had a 1-1 on one side.
You can't have a 1. I'm talking about.
I'm looking at the Final Four.
I'm talking about the Elite Eight.
In my Elite Eight, yeah, I did have all 1-2s. Sorry. Yeah, I was looking at my Final Four. Sorry, leave me alone. Yeah. But yeah, I thought about Alabama here for a while. I thought long and hard about them, but especially if Cooper Flag could come back into health and everything is fine with that ankle and he's 100%. Duke and Florida are the 2 best teams in the country, in my opinion. And so I don't see that stopping anytime soon. I mean, they've been a machine. So yeah, give me Duke out of the East.
All right. I sadly have Duke, Alabama too. I do have VCU in the Sweet 16. Again, Alabama, that's just a team I like. So maybe that's holding me back here from really analyzing their games, but that St. Mary's matchup, St. Mary's could beat them, but I just think that they're not going to be able to score enough points. But I mean, they could slow the game down enough to catch them. But ultimately, I got Alabama, VCU again. Alabama just too good. And then I think by that time, Duke is going to have everybody healthy. Obviously, that's going to be a really fun game. I think Duke gets them. So, yeah, I have Duke, Alabama, and Duke advancing.
Before we go to Chris's pick real quick, you mentioned you like Alabama, as does Barstool Sports' Rico Bosco. They actually have a bet going.
I hate him there. I don't like Rico.
They have a bet going that if Bama makes it to the Final Four, they're flying him out, like all expenses paid. He gets a suite, first class, all this stuff. If Bama doesn't make the Final Four, they're going to send Rico to the Final Four, but he has to take a Greyhound bus.
I'll fit right in.
That's pretty good.
That guy should have been fired when he tried to kill somebody with a Red Bull.
High noon. It was a high noon can, allegedly. Okay. Well, it was true. It actually did happen. But yes, Barstool hire us. All right, Chris, your thought here.
Scotty, this This region, we have exactly identical. So whatever Scotty said, I'll go with. Every single game.
Wow, that's not good.
Well, I for
So
one look
I
forward
will
to it.
say, 11 through 14 are all live to
Yeah.
win their matchups, but I only
Big time.
picked one. But I wouldn't be surprised at all to see really any upset other than the 1 and 2 seeds.
Great. So then Final Fours, I have my orange and blue Final Fours, Auburn and Florida on one side, Duke and Tennessee on the other. Give me Florida over Auburn and Duke over Tennessee, and give me Duke over Florida for my national champion with 159 total points scored in that game.
Big one.
All right. I guess I'm kind of shocked too, but I do have a 2 and a 3 in there. Got Auburn, Texas Tech. I really like Texas Tech, but like I said before, I think Auburn, they were the best team for 80% of the year. I think they'll reset, and I think they're going to be rolling into the Final Four. I think they beat Texas Tech in a close one. Duke, Tennessee is also another interesting game. I think Duke will be rolling at that point, and then Auburn over Duke in the final, 150 points.
All right, Florida over Louisville, Duke over Tennessee, Florida over Duke, total 149.
Florida over Duke, 149. Okay, so we're gonna.
Did you have in the final again, Leon?
I have Duke over Florida.
So y'all got different champions. All right, that's good.
Yeah. And what you have
I need
149,
Florida to
Chris?
lose.
Yeah, 149 is the tiebreak.
Scotty 150. I'm at 159. So kind of a 10-point swing.
I don't
there.
think the tiebreak's going to come in there. Play
No,
with
it's not
just
going to
the
come
three
into
of
play.
us, but, yeah.
All right, and then also Chris had sent this over a little while ago. Speaking of champions, 100% of national champions since 1997 are located east of this line. Which
So
if
that's
you're-
all the number one seeds this year, in case you were wondering.
Yeah.
It's also all that. Well, I was going to say all the SEC teams are. Are there any Western SEC teams now? I can't keep
Arizona.
up
Oh
with
no,
this
that's
realignment.
Big 12.
No, that's Big 12.
Oklahoma.
Texas and
Is
Oklahoma are close.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Arlington is on the right side of the line. I
Yeah.
don't know where Stillwater is.
Stillwater's they're not they're not in, and B
Yeah.
they're Big 12.
No,
Oklahoma
I'm saying
is
Oklahoma.
Norman.
Where's Oklahoma? Norman.
They're
Where's that
like-
at?
They're right outside of Oklahoma City. It's like suburban Oklahoma City.
So which side of the
You know
line
why?
is it on?
That I'm not sure of my Oklahoma geography where that line goes.
And you know why? I know High Point's in all the way over here on the east, but there's a lot of High Point environments in the west, and that's why they don't win.
God
Right.
damn,
Correct.
that was
BYU. You have no chance. Go Rams, go.
Am I lying?
that was
Am I
terrible.
lying? Why is
No,
it?
you're
How
not
is it
lying.
terrible?
That was terrible.
The Rocky Mountain, man.
I can't wait.
How
to
is that
play
terrible? That was
I
not
don't-
even a joke.
A lot of high points. Jesus. I can't wait to play the loser horn after VCU loses, by the way, too. It's going to make me so happy. This week,
Yeah,
I'm already
I can't,
happy.
I
'cause we
can't
got
wait to
real
play it after NC State. But no, never mind.
Does Virginia Tech have a basketball team? Are they in the NAIA yet?
I'm a VCU
Have you-
fan.
I'm staying out of this.
Oh, like most VCU fans. Yeah. All right. Well, on that unfortunate note, make sure to join us back here. Well, join me back here Saturday morning, 9 a.m. for the next edition of Getting Loose with Leon. F1 Week 2 going to Shanghai after a much awaited hiatus due to the COVID-19 pandemic. F1 is back in Shanghai for the first time in over 1,000 days. Someone not named Max Verstappen is on top of the standings. That, of course, is Lando Norris. Dominant performance last week, looking good in that McLaren. And then NASCAR goes down to South Florida to Homestead, Miami. So 2 good races coming up this weekend. We'll break those down.
How
and
many
get
winners
the
did you
winners.
give out last week?
Last week, I gave out Lando Norris. Had a little unfortunate run in NASCAR, but that's okay. That's okay. We've still given out a winner 4 out of 5 weeks. We've given out
There
a
we
winner.
go.
So we just got to keep it going.
I'm just trying to not make a China racing driving joke.
No,
Make sure you use your turn signal, Lando.
hey, and make sure that so Oscar Piastri, Australian teammate of Lando Norris, gets
That's
stuck in
pretty
the,
close to Pistorius. That's not good company.
gets stuck in the grass last week, and he was trying to figure out how to get it out. These F1 cars, obviously, reverse isn't something that's too great in those. He manages to back it out of the grass. If it was stuck, his day would have been over. He manages to get it out. Who does he credit? Jeremy Clarkson of One Top Gear fame for helping him learn how to reverse a tractor on Clarkson's farm, the show that he has on Amazon. He put his tractor backing up skills into the F1 car, got out of the muck, ended up finishing ninth and finishing the points. So Jeremy Clarkson can teach you how to back up.
Yeah, good pullout game.
Pullout game was strong, real strong. Unlike
I watch men.
Fuck you. All right. On that unfortunate note, make sure to like, subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend. We'll see you back here next week, and I'll see you Saturday morning as we get loose. Peace.